Hello and welcome to the Culture Swally, a podcast dedicated to Scottish news and pop culture. My name is Nicky, and I'm joined as always by the man who I would happily drive to Budapest to go to a concert with. It's Greg. How are you today, buddy?
Very well. And how's things with you?
Yeah, all good, thank you, man. Yeah, all good. Can't complain. It's a bank holiday weekend here. Woohoo! So I have Monday off. So it's, very exciting. 3-day weekend. So all good. But yeah, no, everything's fine with me. Can't complain. All good with you?
Yeah. How are you spending your extra weekend day?
Probably not doing much, to be honest. Probably having a nice kind of relaxing weekend. Last weekend I have my girlfriend because she leaves next Friday. She is off to Tokyo.
Of course, because you're also going to Tokyo.
Like 10 days after. So so she leaves and then she's going for work, and then 10 days later I go. So, so probably just have a nice chilled weekend. It's the first Sunday I've had free all year, Greg, because I've been doing an improv class, which of course has been every Sunday. So term 2 ended last Sunday. I had a 1 week break, but I was in Bruges for that Sunday. So this is literally the first Sunday this year that I will have had at home in Amsterdam where I don't have anything to do. So I'm very excited about that.
Cool. And are you going to rejoin the improv group when it starts up again?
I will. It starts up again next week, level 3, but right. I'm obviously away for 2 weeks, so I would miss 2 weeks of it, and you can only miss 2 weeks, otherwise you fail, if that makes sense. So I don't want to take the risk of that. So, and plus I'd rather have the whole 8 weeks. So then they take a break for the summer and it starts again, I think August or September. So August, September, I'm going to re-sign and join level 3. So looking forward to that. Yeah.
I've been invited to play softball on Sunday mornings.
Oh.
Because I've obviously got connections now with these guys that are trying to get this baseball league going here in Dubai. They're planning a 21 game series over 30 days in November. They're looking for some big bucks sponsorship, but I don't think they're a bit rich for our tastes, what they're asking. But anyway, they asked me if I wanted to go on Sunday mornings the next few weeks and play softball at the ballpark. But I've been playing tennis on Sunday mornings. I'm not sure, because my friend, they've just had another baby, so he can't do Thursday nights as regularly because he's got like a 1-year-old now. And like a newborn, and his wife's like, I'm not putting both these fucking kids to bed myself on a Thursday night. Let's just forget about it. So I've been playing with him on a Sunday morning. It's a bit easier for him. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but I've become quite interested in baseball as a result of all this. Like I just finished the documentary on Netflix, like a year in the clubhouse with the Boston Red Sox, and it's just interesting. And I understand how to play it now. I always thought that. I thought until the first time I went to America that I understood how to play it. I was coincidentally in Boston the first time I went to America. There was a series being played. The Red Sox were playing. I can't remember who they were playing, but I watched a bit of it. Could not understand the rules. Couldn't understand why they were like hitting the ball and not running when it didn't look like it was a foul and all this kind of stuff. But now I feel like I've got a firmer grasp of the game. Quite interested in it. So I may have to pick a team.
I was just about to say, do you have a team? So, I guess the Red Sox would be the obvious connection, but are you thinking about maybe picking a different team?
No, I think maybe the Red Sox. The only thing is, like, the guys that I know that are organising this league here are both Yankees fans, and there's obviously a big rivalry there between it's like the Rangers Celtic of Major League Baseball. Although I did notice that all the fans are all mixed in together. Anyway. It's not like there's like a home end and an away end. But anyway, the funny thing is, like that time when we went to Boston back in 2006, my wife and I, it was like really, they're having like a really hot couple of weeks. So they were saying it was like the hottest summer or the hottest August since like fucking 1984 or something like that, right? So I went to buy a hat and I thought, well, I'll buy like a Red Sox hat since I'm in Boston. And so fast forward a few months later, 2007, we're on our honeymoon and we're in Mexico, and we'd just done this dolphin experience, been sort of swimming with dolphins. So I'm stood outside having a smoke, waiting for Paula to finish drying herself off and getting dressed. And I've got my Red Sox cap on, and I'm stood there minding my own business, and this guy comes over, and he says, Boston, huh? And I said, not really, like I was in Boston last summer, I would just really like this hat, and I've just bought it. He looked at me like I was the scum of the fucking earth. He didn't say another word, just wandered away. And I thought, oh, okay, obviously I've stepped over some invisible line there.
Now, you've just brought me to think about that. So you have I don't know if you still have a Red Sox cap. I have a Red Sox cap, which I bought at Fenway Park when I went to go and see the Red Sox. Mm-hmm. Our mutual friend has a Red Sox hat as well.
He had it here with him. I had to borrow it.
Been to Boston? Or why does he have that?
He might just like the design. Like the fancy bee on the front of it. I don't know. I had to borrow it off him on Monday because our mutual, for the benefit of the listeners, we were just talking about it before we started recording. Our mutual friend has been over here visiting me in Dubai, and I took him and his missus to the mosque in Abu Dhabi, the Grand Mosque, for a tour. And I didn't realise how much outside time there was going to be, and I'd forgotten to take a hat along with me. So luckily, he doesn't seem to go anywhere now without like a fully loaded backpack, and he was able to lend me a hat, which was the Red Sox hat. So I was wearing it on Monday around the mosque. So
in terms of finding you a team, let's look at the year you were born. 78, is it, Greg? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So 78, the Yankees won the World Series. So it's up to you if you'd like to support the winning team, or the losing team of the series was the LA Dodgers. So
see, now, because of my sort of neurodivergency, I've had to take a deep dive into all things baseball for the last few weeks. And I didn't realise that the Dodgers and the Giants both have been out in New York since like the 50s. Obviously, the Giants. I mean, I think they've both been West Coast teams at this stage longer than they were East Coast teams, perhaps. I think the Dodgers were the first ones to go to Los Angeles, and then the Giants off to San Francisco. So yeah, I mean, look, this will probably last until I find something else to completely absorb myself in. And, I do quite like the Yankees, the kind of grey and thin kind of pinstripe on their shirts. But I like the Red Sox shirts as well. But then I'm never going to wear a shirt ever, so it doesn't really matter.
But is supporting the Yankees not like just like supporting Man United, Rangers, or Celtic, or Rangers? No, a winning team, mate.
I supported Rangers like 15 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you need to support a team with a bit of history. Rangers don't have any history.
Well, let me tell you something interesting about the New York Yankees. The New York Yankees were originally the New York Highlanders. And they changed their name to the Yankees in the early 20th century. So there is a Scottish connection there, but I fear that it's probably a deeply Protestant Scottish connection. And the Red Sox, the Red Sox feel a wee bit more sort of Roman Catholic than, I don't know.
So in the next episode, we'll hear about where Greg has got his Yankees cap from and is proudly wearing it like Peter Andre. Okay, right.
And my daughter's boyfriend.
Right. Okay, that's enough baseball. That's the baseball. Fuck, I can't even think of a name for it. The baseball basket. Yeah. Anyway, right. Yeah. Shall we have a look at what's been happening?
You could maybe insert that. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, probably too much work. Yeah, well, let's just go straight to the news. Okay.
Yeah. In that case, then cue the jingle.
Hello, this is the Outer Hebrides Broadcasting Corporation, and here is what's been going on in the news.
Okay, Craig, what have you seen in the news this week that you'd like to share with me and our lovely listeners?
Okay, well, my first story, I'm going to pose you a question.
Okay.
How long would you say the shortest short-haul flight in the world is?
Oh, I saw this headline.
In denominations of time.
I saw this headline and I didn't read the article. Is it not something like 58 seconds or something?
You're 5 seconds off, which is pretty good. 53 seconds.
Okay.
So this is from the Scottish Sun on the 28th of April. Short haul inside the world's shortest flight is 53 seconds. Scots journey is still popular today. Fares start as low as £8. Doesn't say what they go up to and what you get. There's a picture. There's a picture of the Hogmanay plane. I don't know why anybody's paying anything extra for, business class 53-second flight. But anyway, Scotland is home to the world's shortest commercial flight, and it only takes about a minute to reach your final destination. Running between the Orkney Islands of Westray and Papa Westray, this flight serves as a crucial link between the two. The entire journey lasts a total of 90 seconds from takeoff to landing, with just 53 seconds spent in the air. Operated by Loganair and Flybe, the Britain-Norman BN2B-26 Islander aircraft accommodates only 10 passengers on the 1.7-mile route. The rapid flight operates daily, with fares starting as low as £8. For residents, maybe there's like a rush hour. It's like a peak time. There's a peak time cost, maybe. For residents of both islands, there is no more affordable or convenient alternative. When a ferry does operate between Westray and Papa Westray, it takes significantly longer, with a journey time of 25 minutes.
Wow.
There is no bridge to connect the two islands, so you can't walk or drive either. Having been in operation since 1967, the aircraft celebrated its 1 millionth passenger milestone in 2016. With a record flight time of just 47 seconds, this route has been recognised as the shortest scheduled passenger flight by the Guinness World Records. Passengers aren't required to arrive at the airport 2 hours in advance, as is standard for most flights. Instead, it's recommended to arrive just 10 minutes prior.
Wow.
As for hand luggage, even small carry-on bags must be placed in the cargo compartment. The journey is primarily used by teachers and students visiting archaeological sites, but is also utilised by health professionals who provide care to patients on both islands. According to the Point Sky's Daniel Ross, the sea route is aboard a fisherman-like boat. He said, "The boat rocks so violently from side to side that I was sure we were going to capsize. Spending 20 minutes on that boat on a calm day was enough to make me never want to set foot on another boat again." Right, fucking catastrophizing there. So yeah, incredibly short flight between the two islands. Have you ever done a short haul in a little chicken chaser plane?
I'm trying to think. I don't think I have, like a tiny, small flight. That was my first question I was going to ask you about do you have to arrive 2 hours before? But obviously not. But no, I don't think. Shortest flight I've probably done, maybe Norwich to Aberdeen. Or, I don't know, I'd have to look at a map. I'm sure, like, some of the Middle East, like Dubai to, I don't know, Oman, Sharjah. Dubai to Muscat? I don't know. That's still like a 45-minute-ish flight, I guess.
I've done that one a couple of times as well.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the shortest. But no, I've never done like a tiny little, like you see like in the Maldives, you'll get like a little seaplane or something like that. I don't know. I've never fancied the thought of that.
No.
Kinda freaks me out a wee bit. But no, I think that's probably... 45 minutes is probably the shortest flight I've had. Not one that's 53 seconds. Jesus.
I've done Birmingham to Glasgow. It's a pretty short. Birmingham to Glasgow?
Yeah.
No. I've done Birmingham to Glasgow, it's not a long flight at all. And I've done Birmingham to Aberdeen. But yeah, I don't know. Those little planes, they're the ones that tend to crash. You know what I mean? So... no point tempting fate.
I mean, the big ones crash too, Greg. Let's not discriminate against planes. The big ones crash too.
Yeah, but when was the last time a big plane crashed? Yeah. Ages.
I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, probably last week, but not anything. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a bit of a, I don't know, I don't think I'd fancy that. And especially if you're taking it every day, surely the risk. Would you, like,
shortening the odds, aren't you?
So what happens if you miss it? Like, arrive at the airport 10 minutes beforehand, but then if something happens with traffic, then you're fucked and you miss your plane, then, great.
Well, the one
I'll have to
thing
get the boat.
the one thing the article doesn't mention is the frequency of the flight. You know, I mean, it's obviously a commercial one, so it's not just like when enough people turn up, the pilot's like, right, come on then, let's go. You know, it's like there must be like a timetable.
Yeah,
you know, but it doesn't mention the frequency. But if it's only like a minute, you imagine that it's probably fairly frequent. But then if it takes 10 people at £8, that's £80 net. Well, no, it's £80 gross sales per flight. You know, how much does it cost to maintain the plane, keep it filled with jet fuel and all that sort of stuff? How much does the airport, you know, are they making any money? Are they breaking even? I don't know.
£8 the lowest price, Greg. It's not £8, is it? Of course, we all know that. We see the adverts of fly to Mauritius for £20, and then when you go on and you add on the airport tax and everything else and your baggage and all this, before you know it, you're £300 in.
But
you've been swayed by that £28 offer, so you're going. And you'll justify it to yourself that technically it was only £28, so it's fine.
Yeah. For the flight was only £28. You know, I had to pay 50p every time I took a breath when we were up in the air. You know. Anyway, that's my first story this week. What you got for us?
Okay, this my first news story this week is from the Press and Journal. This week, Greg, going to Aberdeen or the surrounding area. Keith man who attacked his neighbour in DVD row handed work order. So I thought this was a lovely Swally story. A Keith man who once ram-raided a shop with a digger has been sentenced for beating up his neighbour in a row over a DVD. Duncan Elric was spared jail in 2019 after he drunkenly stole a digger and crashed it into Keith's Spar store in an attempt to steal money from the bank machine. And he was in the dock again last month, standing trial for another crime. The 42-year-old saw his case collapse, however, when he made the stunning admission that he indeed had gone outside to attack Michael Kennedy when he was outside their home, making his partner upset. He had previously lodged a special defence for self-defence. But that defence unravelled as soon as Elric, of Hillview Crescent, if you want to pay him a visit, was questioned by fiscal deputy Rory McAllister on why he did not just walk away or call the police if someone was acting in an abusive manner outside his home. He said he went looking for him to see what the problem was. I've never said it was self-defence, he added. I'm not disputing I went down to fight him, assault him. He also accused the Procurator Fiscal of exaggerating the charges against his neighbour. He said, "You're trying to put words in my mouth. I'm sick of it. It was a square fight. I didn't back down from him." It was also claimed, this is what made me pick the article. It was also claimed in evidence that Mr. Kennedy described Elric's partner as a Skeletor-faced cow. Under cross-examination by Elric's defence agent, see you laughing, Skeletor-faced cow. Under cross-examination by Elric's defence agent, Ian Jane, Mr. Kennedy admitted that his behaviour was shocking. I'm aware my behaviour was shocking. I should never have said that. I should have walked away that day. He maintained he was not the aggressor and that the row was sparked by his daughter not returning a DVD. On Wednesday, Elric was recalled to Peterhead to discover his fate. Stopping short of sending him to prison for the assault, Sheriff Craig Finlater ordered him to complete 200 hours of unpaid work within the community over the next year. He'll also be under the supervision of the social work department for the next 18 months. So, Skeletor-faced cow. That's a fucking great insult, isn't it?
Well, I wonder what the DVD was.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Like, I'm really annoyed. He's 42, so obviously Skeletor fits right in his wheelhouse. It doesn't say, but it was his daughter that borrowed the DVD. I did see one comment online saying, I hope it was a He-Man DVD. Yeah. But we have no idea. So yeah, you've gotten into a bit of a trouble over DVDs over the years, haven't you?
Are you referring to the time when a DVD was taken from our mutual friend's house?
Yeah, it's exactly what we're referring to.
Well, that was just a bit sort of unfortunate, really. You know what I mean? Like,
it was, yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the most unfortunate thing about that night in in hindsight, but I did replace it. So
you did replace it. Oh, I didn't realise that.
of course
okay.
I did. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
did,
you invited a friend back to your flat, and your friend stole some DVDs from our mutual friend. But obviously you never saw that friend again. So
well, it was a new friend that I had just made that night. I just happened to we met in, I think, Triple Kirk's in Aberdeen. We had a lot in common, it turned out.
Did you see Michael Gove there that night? Or?
No, he would have been up at Club Tropicana. And so I took her back. I wasn't even living with her mutual friend at that time. He was just like, I was just up from Glasgow for a few days. He was letting me stay there. And the next, we had a pleasant evening. And the next morning, I woke up first, and I thought I'd go in the shower. Now, the thing that I think about was like, for reasons that I'll explain to you when we're not recording, I had a lot of money in my wallet, like a lot of cash. And I thought, I'll go and get in the shower, and I'll just take my clothes in to the bathroom and get dressed in the bathroom rather than, come out and getting dressed in front of my new friend. Right? And I'm so glad that I did, because I'm sure that she'd have fucking dipped my wallet as well as nicking the DVDs.
Yeah.
She's obviously a fucking thief. But yeah, unfortunate. I used some of that money to go into town and replace the DVDs for a mutual friend who was fucking absolutely furious. It's fair enough,
It's fair enough. No, and I take my hat off to you for replacing the DVDs. But yeah, it's fair enough that obviously your new friend decided to borrow the DVDs without giving them back, and I'm sure obviously you had no way to get in contact with this friend.
Well, no, it wasn't quite the pre-internet age, but it was before social media and stuff. The thing is, I did know she told me where she worked. She works in the kitchen at McCameron's. So I met another of our mutual friends for a pint in McCameron's the next day, with a vague notion of looking out for her and confronting her if I saw her.
Was this Techno Jock?
No, it was Brett.
Oh, okay, yeah, that was my next guess.
Because you were poor. I think you were poorly that week. So I told Brett what had happened, and he was like, "Well, if we see her." So I did see her, and I saw her greeting what seemed to be her girlfriend.
Oh, Jesus, the plot thickens.
I thought to myself, well, I've already replaced the DVDs. There's nothing to be gained from confronting a bisexual lady in front of her girlfriend. Our mutual friend's got his DVDs back. I don't appear to have any sexually transmitted diseases.
Fuck's sake.
So all's well that ends well, really. And the other thing is, when I saw her in McCameron's in the sort of cold light of day, I realised that I'd made a mistake.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Because she was a thief, obviously. Yeah.
That she was a thief, but also maybe I'd been a bit too eager to make her my new friend.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. And
I know what you're talking about.
I'm sure the feeling was entirely mutual.
Was she a Skeletor-faced cow, or was she more of a beast man?
She's more of an evil Lynn. She was more of an evil Lynn in the sort of gothy sense.
Okay.
Our friend Techno Jock would have been very impressed with her.
Okay.
If had he been the one to make friends with her before I did.
He'd have liked to have mined her craft. I saw something, speaking about Skeletor, I saw, it was on Instagram, just before we started recording, I was in the toilet on my phone, and I was doom scrolling, and it came up on Instagram, the intro to Bucky O'Hare. Remember Bucky O'Hare?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do remember Bucky O'Hare. I was slightly too old for Bucky O'Hare because it was sort of like the same time as the Ninja Turtles cartoon, which I did watch it, but I was kind of aware as I was watching it that you're probably a bit too old for this.
See, I think I was, because obviously I'm, 3 years younger,
Yeah.
so I think I was still okay, I think. It was only 13 episodes of Bucky O'Hare.
Yeah.
Never realised that. I thought it ran for longer, but yeah, only 13 episodes.
Was it a bit of a Ninja Turtles sort of cash-in type thing? They're a bit like sort of Battletoads?
No, I wouldn't say so. Well, maybe, because it was about a rabbit, but then I guess, Ninja Turtles lived in a sewer in New York and knew ninja, whereas Bucky O'Hare was a rabbit who had a spaceship.
Pilot. Yeah, but I just thought like sort of animals doing... animals being hard. You know?
But you could go back to do anything with that, mate. You could say that the Ninja Turtles ripped off the raccoons or the animals of Farthing Wood.
Yeah, but they weren't hard, were they? Do you know what I mean? Like, Ninja Turtles are hard bastards. Like the Battletoads and Bucky O'Hare. Ninja Turtles would fucking absolutely crease the animals of Farthing Wood in a square go.
That's a battle I would like to see. Ninja Turtles against the animals of Farthing Wood.
I mean, like the only one in the animals of Farthing Wood who might have a bit of form, but he's probably too old, would be Badger, because he's like the older one. Maybe like young Badger back in the day, he might have had a bit of form. You know, it might have been a bit of a handful for the Ninja Turtles, but by the time the animals of Farthing Wood come round, he's an old cunt, isn't he? So.
Who do you reckon would win a square go between the animals of Farthing Wood and Wind in the Willows?
I think the Wind in the Willows. I think Toad of Toad Hall would just run them over in his big car.
Yeah, so that is our DVD hero, Skeletor Face Cow. Basically, why I picked that article, but yeah, I love that. But he'll be doing his 200 hours community service.
There's something about Scots that they just seem to be able to sort of coin these like brilliant fucking put downs. You know what I mean? Like Scottish Twitter is just or Scottish X. It's often just a fucking thing of joy.
I saw this completely unrelated, and I was going to save this for later, but I was on Reddit earlier today, and there was an article. Someone was complaining about the price. In fact, I'll just read it verbatim. It's probably the easiest thing. This is Reddit Scotland. The topic is called Sausage Suppers. I'm from Bellshill, but I've been living in Aberdeen for the last 7 years. I went to a chippy tonight for the first time in ages. Fancied a sausage supper, as I recently gave up the vegan life. What the fuck is going on here? Sausage is wrapped separately from the chips, and it's only one fucking sausage. £8 for a solo sausage. Is this standard practice everywhere now, or is this just the fucking awful policy of the North East? I'm fucking livid. So, first reply, £7.30 near me, but it's a double jumbo sausage. A fish supper is £10.20 though. Who put tariffs on the cod? The reason I've done this accent is because the next reply goes, cod, we found you out, Nigel. We don't eat cod round these parts. For overseas listeners, Nigel is the affectionate term that us Scots give to people from England. We call them Nigels. So yes, we found you out, Nigel. No one eats cod round here. It's fucking haddock and that's it.
It does seem quite expensive. It does seem expensive, like £8 just for like a sausage.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's extortionate. Absolute extortionate. Anyway, right, moving on. What else have you seen this week, buddy?
Well, this is hot off the press just today.
Oh.
It's in the Daily Record. The headline reads, Scots urged to keep taps on this summer as tenants team up with comedy legends. I'm not talking about irresponsible water usage. I'm talking about keeping your top on. Still game legend Sanjeev Kohli is part of a group of top Scots comedians encouraging Scots to keep their taps on this summer as part of Tenants Lager's new campaign. They've got a brilliant t-shirt where on the back it says "Think like a ginger." I might have to try and get my hands on one of those t-shirts. The push by the Scots beer giants comes amid rising skin cancer rates and is encouraging Scots not to take their taps off through a new collection of special t-shirts where all the profits go to Melanoma UK, a charity working to combat skin cancer. Comedy legends including Sanjeev Kohli, Ashley Storey, Larry Dean, Bash the Entertainer and more are lending support to the limited edition collection. Sanjeev Kohli, best known as Craig Lang shopkeeper Naveed, said, "We're all guilty of getting a bit overexcited the minute the sun shows up. I've seen folk sunbathing on traffic islands, well seen that he lives in Glasgow. When it appears, we fight that urge to race to the nearest patch of sand to feel the sweet warmth in our bare skin. But while we're busy basking in its glow, we often forget that it's pelting us with UV rays." I'm just looking at the t-shirt that Sanjiv's holding up. On the back it says 4 seasons in 1 pint, and it's a guy holding a pint of Tennent's in a variety of different weather systems. I wanted my t-shirt design to be a cheeky nod to those fleeting moments of sunshine as we race to make the most of it, and a reminder that if the sun is melting your ice cream, think what it can do to your skin. The Tennent's Taps On campaign is designed to encourage people not to ignore the sun's dangers and to embrace the brighter side of the season without being daft about their own health. The items are designed to sum up the Scots' unique relationship with the sun. The item includes Larry Dean's t-shirt, "We've got your back." A Scottish seagull swoops in to leave a deposit on a sunseeker's back. A big dollop of sun cream. Susie McCabe summer survival kit. "We find a way to celebrate summer and get good use of our barbecue even in the rain." Sanjeev Kohli, mailto, demonstrating the daily challenge of trying to finish an ice lolly before it's melted. Ray Bradshaw, "Think like a ginger. Any sensible pale-skinned person knows being under the sunbathing towel is preferable to sunburn." Diona Doherty, "SPF is sexy. Nothing says hot like staying sun-safe this summer." Kim Blythe, "Sun-trapped, showcasing the joy of chasing the shy summer sunshine in a beer garden." Ashley Storey, "The battle, you're either out or you're in, demonstrating the frustrating unpredictability of our sun." And Bash the Creator, 4 seasons in 1 day or less, no problem, we'll still be out enjoying the summer come rain or shine or wind or hail. It goes on to say melanoma is the 5th most common cancer in the UK with around 17,500 new cases every year, and it's on the rise with rates increasing by almost 1/3 over the past decade. Detection rates in Scotland are lagging behind those in England, and Tennent's are encouraging people to remember that the sun can still cause damage even if it's behind the clouds, with almost 9 in 10 cases in the UK being caused by exposure to too much ultraviolet radiation from the sun. So yes, so have a wee look at the t-shirts when you've got a moment. There's some,
yeah.
I like that Think Like a Ginger one. It's really good.
Where was the news article from?
The Daily Record.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very worthwhile cause. I'm very pleased to hear that Tennent's, my favourite lager, are putting their behind this. So yeah, I think it's a wonderful cause, and I'm really glad that a lot of comedians are putting their kind of heft behind it as well. I think it's a great cause. I've just got the article up. I'm looking to Think Like a Ginger. Our mutual friend would have loved that t-shirt for when he was there.
He's even got an umbrella up like our mutual friend had it last week.
Certainly does. No, I think this is wonderful. And I love to see something like this happening. I never realised, because you mentioned the article and I was looking, so I went into Tennent's website and they have a big merchandise section, which I never realised. Get socks, beanies, umbrellas, playing cards, bum bags, toiletry bags, passport holder. This is fucking amazing. I'm going to be buying a lot of this shit. Yeah, wonderful. We went in last weekend to the expat, kind of shop in Amsterdam, and we weren't going home for quite a few hours, but I was like, oh, Tennent's, this is the fucking nectar. And my girlfriend was like, well, why don't you buy a few cans? And I was like, no, because we're going out and stuff, so I don't want to take it with me. I'll come back another day and get some Tennent's. So, but yeah, it was lovely. Yeah. And they still had the 1901 Iron Brew in the glass bottle as well. So I'm going back in the next week or so to stock up on Tennent's and some classic Iron Brew. But yeah, I think it's a wonderful campaign, and it's nice to see Scottish comedians putting their heft behind it as well. and raising awareness, because the summer's coming in and you never know. You need to be careful.
Yep. I mean, I remember when you and I went to Tina Park in 2004, I remember the Sunday, the sun was very much behind the clouds and getting burnt anyway, even though... because we were outside all day pretty much, right? Because we were camping. So we're like literally outdoors the whole time.
Yeah.
I remember getting a fair bit of sunburn, even though it wasn't sunny at all. You probably just got fucking browner. Yeah.
Yeah. I do have that kind of olive skin complexion.
Yeah.
Somehow, no idea. But yeah, I do tan. Like last weekend, we were out most of the day outside. And yeah, woke up on a Sunday and I just had like a total suntan. It's kind of faded a little bit now. But yeah, just got brown just from being out in the sun all day. Yeah.
Ooh, Tenants have got an IPA on the website.
Oh.
Might have to sample that next time I'm at home.
Yeah.
They have got some nice stuff. Those t-shirts are only 25 quid each. That's not bad.
I like the retro jumper, which has like the old kind of, it's still just a tee, but you can, as connoisseurs that we are, looking at it, you're like, that's the old Tenants tee. I like that.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So yeah.
The hoodie.
No, I think it was a jumper. It's a grey jumper towards the bottom.
Oh, I've not got there yet. Oh, yes. Yeah, that is the... Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's just that's the old Tenants logo.
It's the old T, yeah.
Anyway. Okay, enough of online shopping that we're doing. Buying Tenants. Tenants, if you'd like to sponsor the podcast, you know what? I'm going to put one of your adverts in for our sponsors just to help us along. But yeah, I think this is wonderful. I'm really happy that they're doing this. Like, it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's something. I mean, I'm quite moly, so I'm always a bit. Well, not moly. I'm quite freckly. I'm never sure the difference between a mole and a freckle. I think moles are sort of raised. In which case, I've got like two moles, like one on my side and one on my back. I think one on my back. But I'm quite freckly, so I'm always a wee bit. I always try to be a wee bit careful when I'm out in the sun, but I did manage to get like a little bit of colour about me this week when I've been at the beach and stuff with our mutual friend. A little bit. I mean, but that's going through like factor 50.
Yeah.
So that's fine for me, like a little bit of colour. But yeah, so I've always worried about, that's always been one that I've always worried about skin cancer because I'm quite freckly, so like I like being outside when it's hot, but I do keep my bare bits covered up as much as I can.
Glad to hear.
Anyway, what's your next story?
My next story comes from Glasgow Live this week, Greg. Bear's Den cat stuck up 25-foot high tree, tempted down with McDonald's burger. I thought I would do this because obviously you have cats and you're a cat lover, but let's see what you have to say about this. Harris the cat, who is well known locally, according to his owner, got himself stuck up a tree near one of his favourite watering spots, the Burn Brae. Worried owner Julia called Cats Protection Glasgow volunteer Kirsty, who previously retrieved haggis from a local McDonald's restaurant after he had a 2-day bender in the fast food place last year. With the fire services unavailable, Kirsty called local tree surgeon Mike from Oaktree, who managed to tempt Harris over with a McDonald's burger within 10 minutes, all free of charge. Relieved Julie says Harris, who has his own Instagram account documenting his journeys, is now grounded following his latest stunt. She told Glasgow Live, "We got a tracker so we know where he is, but he's well known in the area. He's been brought home to us from over a mile away before. He's a wee rascal." He does things like this on the regular, and he's become a bit of a celebrity. He turned 1 in April and has only been allowed out in the last 6 months, but he goes everywhere. He likes to go to McDonald's and then other places like local pubs and the swimming pool. He spent 2 days in McDonald's once, and that's how I got to know Kirsty, because she brought him home that time after a 2-day bender in there.
2-day bender?
He'd been out all night, which is what he does. I went looking for him, and saw he was in a tree. I could hear him, and I saw he was up that tree. I phoned Kirsty. The fire brigade wouldn't come, and we couldn't get him down. Our idea was to phone the tree surgeon. We got some burgers from McDonald's, and he went up to coax him down, and it worked. He was quite distressed, but the tree surgeon was great with him and didn't charge a thing. Harris is now back home and safe and sound after his ordeal. Cats Protection Glasgow volunteer Kirsty said, I met Harris in December last year when I was frequenting a McDonald's. Having worked out how to use the automatic doors, I managed to scan him for microchip and return him to his mum Julie. Since then, I've followed his journey on Instagram and have met him several times in his daily jaunts. Julie called me when his tracker showed he was stuck up a tree. I decided to try and find a tree surgeon locally who might help him. Mike answered the call, and he was there within an hour with his climbing equipment. He had Harris down safely in less than 10 minutes. It was his first time being called to rescue a cat, and he did it completely free of charge. We're so grateful for his generosity. There are good people in the world, and Harris brings us together. So there you go, Greg. Cat tempted out of a tree with a McDonald's burger. When we first started the Swally, this is the type of thing that I was like, why is this news? Why do I need to know about this?
Yeah.
Why is this news? What the fuck? But yeah, McDonald's burger. You've got cats. Do they ever eat McDonald's?
My cats have hardly get any teeth. They've had to have them removed over the years because for various reasons.
Chicken nuggets were too hard.
It's just eating too many sweets. I mean, that is the sort of nice little story at the end of like the Scottish news. You know what I mean? At 6:30 on BBC or something. Yeah. Just a little palate cleanser after all the fucking poverty, misery, gang wars, and all the other shit that we've had to machete our way through for the past few months to try and find some Swally-centric stories. But yeah, no, one of our cats, we moved house June last year, and he managed to get out. We don't routinely let them out, and he was out for a week, and I thought, well, one less cat, that's a result. But but then we found him again. He was sitting in someone's bonnet about just in the street behind ours after being out looking for the cunt every night and all sorts. Yeah, it was literally like 30 metres away the whole time. But yeah, cats are odd. I wouldn't say that I would describe myself as more of a cat apologist than a cat lover, and that I don't mind cats. But, you know, if we didn't have any cats, I would be just as happy. Maybe even a bit happier.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah. That's fair enough. But would you
they fucking live forever as well. So they do, generally.
Would you ever think of going to McDonald's for your cat though?
No. It'd be a wasted journey.
Well, I mean, Harris had a 2-day bender in the McDonald's, which I'd like to see what happened to him when he was having his 2-day bender there, because I don't know what, but
I can hear Harris's arteries hardening from here. So.
Yeah. Do you think he was just... do you imagine if you went to that McDonald's the next day and you're getting cat hair in your burger?
I know. I can imagine the fucking fat growing around his heart at the moment. Do you know, the guy I watched... Do you remember Morgan Spurlock, the guy who did Super Size Me when he ate McDonald's every day for a month?
I've never eaten a McDonald's since I watched that.
Right, so...
Never.
I should say the late Morgan Spurlock, because unfortunately he passed away last year, I think. But he did a sequel to Super Size Me last year where he looked at the sort of fried chicken industry, and I thought he was going to eat fried chicken every day for a month, but that's not what he did. What he did was he wanted to set up a sort of restaurant experiment selling fried chicken, but sort of selling it honestly. It's well worth a watch. It makes you never want to eat anything in the US ever. By the way, honestly, if you went to America again, you would want to take all your own food to last you the amount of time you're going to be there after watching this. But basically, there's this breed of chicken that has been... It's not been like genetically bred this way, but just the way it's been bred over the years, it grows very, very quickly. So it goes from sort of cute little chick to like an absolute bruiser within about 6 weeks. They're called broiler chickens. And because they grow so quickly, often their heart just gives up. Because their heart doesn't grow quick enough to keep blood pumping around the body, so they just like peg out, and because they grow so quickly, they're lazy bastards. So they don't wander around. Like they've got them in these big, like they're free range in the sense that they're not in cages. And to call a chicken a free range chicken in America, all you have to do is give it access to about 4 square meters of outside space. And now because of these chickens, because they're so fucking lazy, they don't go outside. They just sit on their arse, right, in the big barn thing that they're growing in. But because they could go outside if they wanted to, then the big chicken company gets to say that they're free-range chickens. Shocking. Honest. Absolutely mental place when it comes to food. America. Everything is industrialized, even the fucking growing of chicken.
Well, there we go. I don't know if Harris has got to worry about that, but if he gets lost again, they can tempt him out with another McDonald's burger.
I wouldn't back Harris in a fight with one of these broiler chickens, by the way. The cat would be like Mick McManus going up against the fucking giant haystacks of the broiler chicken and just getting fucking squashed. It'd be like fucking King Kong Bundy. R.I.P.
Well, let's hope that Harris never gets into that kind of predicament and he remains safe and knows where his local McDonald's is whenever he needs to go there. Okay, have you seen anything else this week, Greg?
I have not.
Okay, right. Well, before we go on to what we're going to be talking about today, let's have a little word from our sponsors, which will probably be Tennent's.
This is our lager, our Tennent's lager, the one and only, as we all know. It's always ready, the taste stays steady, so we drink it wherever we go. This is our lager, our Tennent's lager, the one and only, as we all know. It's always ready.
Okay, so it was your turn to choose for this week's episode, Nikki. So what are we talking about today?
Thank you very much, Greg. So today we will be talking about Forget About Me, Michael Winterbottom's debut film for Channel 4 television, which tells the story of two Scottish squaddies stationed in Germany who, granted leave for Hogmanay, set off not for home, but to Budapest and a Simple Minds concert. On their way there, they pick up a hitchhiker, a beautiful and enigmatic young Hungarian girl, Chilla, which sets in motion a love triangle that will change their lives. Starring Ewen Bremner and Brian McCardie as the two leads and Susanna Vakori as the love interest Chilla, this was the first time I had seen Forget About Me, Greg, and I only kind of discovered it a few months ago, and you'd mentioned you hadn't seen it before either. So what did you think about Forget About Me?
The most jarring thing about it was Brian McCardie's voice doesn't seem to have broken.
He seems so young in this, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So young.
If you think about, his later performances, he had a really gravelly voice.
Yeah.
And he used to do it was the Iron Brew adverts he did as well, and he was dressed up as a big chicken and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Was it Iron Brew? Yeah.
Yeah.
But he used to have this really, really gravelly voice, and he sounds about 14 years of age in this.
Yeah.
So he does. And he does seem very, very... I mean, 1990 is 35 years ago.
Yep.
I mean, it's a long time.
Yeah, but he must have still been in his early 30s at this point.
Early 30s, really?
Do you think?
I thought he was born in the 60s, surely. He's born... Oh, it doesn't say what year he was born. It just says he's born on 22nd of January. Brian McCardie.
Good research here. 65 he was born.
65. So it would have been 25 then.
Okay.
This.
Yeah.
Yes, 25. So it's still young. But I suppose 25 is sort of younger now than it was back then.
True.
And Ewen Bremner is also very young in it.
Yeah.
But his voice is the same as it is now, really. But yeah. I mean, unfortunately, the version available to us on YouTube is burned from a VHS, which was taped off the telly. Because you can see that wee kind of black and white square that you used to get that indicates something's pre-recorded, right?
It's never been released on DVD and it's never been repeated. I think it might have something to do with the Simple Minds concert footage, I think, for usage.
And I was surprised when they turned up. As we actually saw them on stage. It was. I enjoyed it. Because it's quite interesting, really. It's the weird thing about 1990 is it's not quite the 1990s in terms of how things look. It's still 1980s, really. You know what I mean? Like the 1990s hasn't really established its own sort of look and feel. It's obviously after the Berlin Wall was come down, so. Obviously, that makes... But no, that wouldn't make any difference, would it, really, to get going to Hungary or anywhere like that? So, yeah, I mean, it's... I don't know, like... some of it was a bit predictable. In a lot of ways, it's quite the sort of traditional sort of romantic drama, really, isn't it? But, the fact that it's two very distinctive Scottish actors in Hungary, where Ewan McGregor seems to sort of fit in Hungary... But McCardie, not so much, but that's because he's dressed like he's off to Ibrox. But no, like it was. I was really interested, and I like Michael Winterbottom. I mean, he directed one of my favourite films, which is 24-Hour Party People.
Yeah,
about,
of course.
The Hacienda and Factory Records. But what about you? What did you think of it?
I did. I really enjoyed it. I think you're right in terms of 1990 does still seem a bit more 80s. And I guess because it's set in Hungary, it's kind of like a little bit more...
Yeah.
I don't want to say backwards, but you know what I mean? Like it's a little bit... It's still catching up on time, and it's still very much East, because most of this was filmed on the streets of East Germany and Hungary.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And I think it would have been maybe around about the time the wall came down. The wall came down in 1989. So, it would have been filmed just after. I really enjoyed it. I think probably mostly because I do like Ewen Bremner, and obviously I'm a huge fan of Brian McCardie. And I find it, you're right, it is quite formulaic in terms of, okay, you kind of know what's going to happen, but also there were parts where I didn't know it was going to happen. And you're kind of waiting to see that there are a little bit glimpses. I really liked the two characters. I mean, they were so different in terms of Bunny and Broke. Bunny played by Brian McCardie and Broke played by Ewen Bremner. So different. And you do kind of buy them as maybe not friends, but like colleagues.
Yeah.
They're there, but maybe you kind of get a feeling Broke kind of just puts up with Bunny. But Broke seems like such a sensitive and pensive kind of character, whereas Bunny is just a total extroverted head case and Rangers till he dies, obviously. And, he describes himself as Scottish, red, white and blue, Protestant, loyal and true. And you kind of get a feeling that is Broke really arsed about going to see Simple Minds? I mean, like, he doesn't seem that bothered. I mean, the fact he leaves the concert, spoiler alert for the end, and never seems that enthusiastic, whereas Bunny's like Simple Minds daft. And did he only get Broke the ticket because he had a car and can drive, and Bunny can't drive?
Well, that seemed to be the contention to me, you know what I mean? Because... you do think to yourself, that why would these two be friends? Because Broke's a bit of a fucking downer. You know what I mean? Bunny, like, going away for a few days with Bunny would also be my fucking worst nightmare.
Yeah, yes.
Fucking pain in the fucking arse. But Broke's just he's just like a total downer. You know what I mean? Bunny can't drive, obviously, so he does need someone to take him. But at the start of the film, you kind of get the impression that, these are sort of two comrades, brothers in arms, friends. There's this whole backstory for Broke that don't really go into. There's like a scene between him and Scylla where you think maybe he is going to go into it, but we hear a little bit about how he was through loads of foster homes and stuff like that. So there's and there's the whole scene when he's shaving and she's chasing him about and he's got his top off. He doesn't like being touched, and you're like, all right, is there something more going on there with Broke? Is he like a victim of abuse in the care home system and all this kind of thing? And maybe we're going to hear a bit about that. There's going to be a bit of he was going to end up baring his soul to Scylla, but then it sort of doesn't, and he sort of goes from not someone who doesn't like to be touched to somebody who fucking deserts the army, in which I'm pretty sure is illegal and would end up we'd end up getting arrested by the military police for doing that. So, but then I suppose, it's quite a short TV film. It's like an hour and like 15 minutes or something, isn't it? So it's only so much you can do in that time. But yeah, just they're very unlikely friends.
Yeah, I was going to come on to him at the end, effectively deserting and leaving. Shades of the last episode with Laura Fraser just fucking off to Mumbai with her daughter leaving the police. You have to wonder what's gonna happen there with Brooke. I think they do a good job in terms of the two characters are obviously very polar opposites. Of Bunny is a brash, loud, obnoxious guy, huge Rangers fan, wearing his Union Jack t-shirt. Ironic that Simple Minds are his favourite band and Jim Kerr's like a massive Celtic fan.
I know.
But we can leave that by the side. And Broke is a really sensitive guy, and you're right, they do touch upon a couple of times in terms of possibly his upbringing or something that's happened. There's a scene with him and Bunny in the car, and they're speaking about family and how they both couldn't wait to effectively leave their family to go and join the army. And you think, what's happened here? And of course, as you say, like it's bounced about foster homes. They're both broken individuals, and that's why Broke probably is called Broke, because he's broken.
Yeah.
And I think it's a very polar opposite, and it's you could tell that Broke is really a sensitive guy, and he's obviously been a squaddie. He's seen a lot of stuff happen. He does go into a little bit of a story about, his friend dying. And it's kind of touching to see him with Chilla, and you can tell almost like that's his first taste of love, and he's experiencing new things and feeling new things, but he doesn't seem that arsed kind of initially. Like, no, he's so besotted. When he first sees her, he says she's an angel, but then Bunny kind of seems he's interested, so Broke kind of takes a back step, but then it's almost like as the kind of movie progresses, he realizes that he has feelings for her and he likes her as well.
Yeah, and then he sort of makes that, but he still, he has that night with her where they go and look at some of the architecture and stuff in Budapest and have a bit of a heart to heart, and when he comes back and Bunny's in a huff, he decides to give his ticket to her so he can take her to the concert, and then she doesn't want to go with him. She's sort of fallen in love with Broke after spending that night with him, and that doesn't even end very well, that does it, because he ends, she goes back to her mum's, I think, and he goes back to the hotel. So
so the whole premise is centered around these two Scottish squaddies stationed in Germany. Maybe that's why they're friends, because they're Scottish, and we like to stick to our own kind of kindred spirits. And they're off to go to a Simple Minds concert on New Year's Day in Budapest. Are you a fan of Simple Minds, Greg, or do you think they're just a load of jocks bashing guitars?
No, I don't think they're just a load of jocks bashing guitars. I do like Simple Minds. Like, I like New Gold Dream. I think it's a great album. And they've got some bangers, Simple Minds. Like, ironically, their biggest banger wasn't one that they wrote themselves. But no, they're a fucking good band, Simple Minds. And they're sort of interesting as well, because they kind of started off like a sort of Scottish punk band, and very, very quickly sort of embraced a different type of sort of music, which is a bit more, don't know, I mean, it's not like new romantic, it's nowhere near new romantic.
No.
It's not, it's maybe got a little bit more in common with maybe early U2 or something like that, or maybe a bit of, maybe a little bit of Goodbye Mr. Mackenzie, something like that.
So you'd
they're
say
a good band.
Simple Minds are the Scottish U2, is that what you're saying?
No, I wouldn't say that, but I would say that maybe their music has maybe got a little bit in common with early U2.
No, I could see that. Like, obviously, like you've said, Don't You Forget About Me, obviously they didn't write. I mean, Jim Kerr did add the la 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 and claimed fucking half of the credit for it. But fair play to him. Great song. I mean, Alive and Kicking is a fucking anthem, really. Always reminds me of McEwen's lager, though.
Yeah, because that was the big campaign, wasn't it?
Yeah,
for years and years.
And I mean, Promised You a Miracle is a fucking great song.
Yeah,
as well.
That's a great song.
So that's early
and
kind of Simple Minds.
And Waterfront as well. Great song.
No, I think they're a good band. And, you know, fair play to him. He's fucking married to Chrissy Hynde and then traded her in for Patsy Kensit.
Did you hear the 80s guys talking about that the other day?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you. Do you know the punk band that sort of spawned Simple Minds? You know what it was called?
No.
Johnny and the Self Abusers.
Oh, okay.
Lovely. Yeah. But no, I do like their sort of earlier stuff. But no, they're a good band. Really good band. Simple Minds. What about you? Are you a fan of the Minds?
I wouldn't say I was a huge fan of the Minds. I do. I like them, and they're okay. Like as I've said, I think that a few of their songs are great. I wouldn't say they were a huge influence on me. I mean, I obviously remember, but when I think about them, I think about fucking Jim Kerr and being a massive Celtic fan. So I think about Celtic.
Oh, they're going to say I think about cans of McEwen's Lager.
No, but in a strange way that I don't associate Rod Stewart with Celtic that much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's weird. But then Jim Kerr,
I associate Rod more with Scotland, the Scottish football team, than I do with Celtic for some reason.
Yeah, but I kind of associate Simple Minds with Celtic, much in the same way I associate Tina Turner with Rangers. Although she probably never set foot in Ibrox in her life.
But never even heard of Rangers. Let me ask you a question then. So successful Scottish bands, right? So bands that have really done incredibly well nationally, across the UK, across Europe, and often in America. Do you sometimes feel, even if you don't really like them, you kind of feel that you have to sort of find a bit of enthusiasm, find something that you like about them, just because they're a Scottish band getting on and, you know, making waves across the world?
Yeah, probably. I mean, you could say that with like Lewis Capaldi. I don't like his music, but I like him as a person, so that maybe doesn't count because I don't have anything. I like him. I don't like his music, but I will watch an interview with him because I think he's fucking hilarious. And
what about the guy who won X Factor who looked a bit like Joe Jordan before he got his teeth fixed? MacArthur?
Who's
something?
that?
James MacArthur? Is that him?
He's not Scottish, James MacArthur.
I thought he was Scottish.
Or was he?
I think he is. I think he is Scottish.
There was a Scottish guy. Was a Scottish guy who won X Factor? Like, yeah, I mean, obviously I would always cheer on the kind of Scottish acts on something like that, like the McDonald brothers and stuff. And
oh, you're right. He's English.
Yeah, James MacArthur's English. Yeah. I remember getting into a Twitter spat with him years ago. It was very funny. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
The Scottish kid that won it was a guy called Liam. I can't remember his second name. He came from Livingston.
Was it not Leon Jackson?
Leon, that was it, not Liam.
Leon Jackson, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I didn't support him, I would say. I don't know whatever Westlife song he covered for his Christmas #1, or if he got to Christmas #1. I don't know. Good luck to you, man. But yeah, I would support him. Only, I don't know, that it's not... Yeah, like I love Travis and, you know, Franz Ferdinand. In terms of like big Scottish bands.
Michelle McManus.
Michelle McManus, I mean, she was big. In terms of big Scottish like bands, artists that have made international success, I mean, the Bay City Rollers obviously is a big one. I mean, Rod Stewart, we're claiming Rod. I think
Lena Zavaroni.
Lena Zavaroni. I mean, she was hardly international or even national success, maybe a little bit. Lulu.
Lulu, yeah.
I mean, she obviously will take, like, you know, we've got a lot of littler ones like Franz Ferdinand and Frightened Rabbit and
Sheena Easton.
Travis. Sheena Easton, yes. Sydney Devine.
Well, what about Shirley Manson, our mutual friend? Big crush on her. Garbage were big.
I mean,
everywhere.
Probably the big
crossed over.
I mean, to be fair, probably the biggest. If you're taking Manson, the biggest is Lennox, surely.
Lennox.
Annie.
Oh, Annie Lennox.
From Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Annie Lennox. I've been on a flight with her. Annie Lennox just sat in front of me and my mum on a flight from Heathrow to Aberdeen.
Is she really? Was she nice? She thought?
I don't know. I never even realised. It was just when we got up to depart, my mum nudged me and she went, "That's Annie Lennox." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, so it is." She seemed very nice. She was very personable. Very, very nice person.
I mean, you'd have to be to deal with Dave Stewart for years, right? Fucking hell.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably the
Patience
biggest.
of a saint.
Is it? Biggest Scottish kind of band singer? Like Annie Lennox? I mean, Simple Minds, obviously, they had like was it number 1 or number 2 with Don't You Forget About Me?
I think it was
in the
number 1,
US.
I think it was, because the movie was the number 1 film as well, wasn't it?
So, I mean, that's a huge success. Yeah. You've also got, Texas with they had a huge run for a couple of years.
Yeah, I quite liked that. The album of Texas that was out in the sort of late 90s that they had all the one that Chris Evans liked. Remember, because Texas have been around for
White on Blonde.
Yes, because they've been around for like years and years and years.
Yeah.
And then Chris Evans liked that, or he liked a song off that album when he was doing the Radio 1 breakfast show, and arguably turned them into fucking overnight successes after years of grinding away trying to fucking get in the top 10,
I mean, you could argue, as much as we'll say about Scottish bands, like I'm a big fan of Delamitri and obviously Deacon Blue, but then the Proclaimers, they've had like a huge US hit with 500 Miles, because it was in a Jim Carrey film, wasn't it? It was not in like I can't remember what film it's in. It's the one with Renée Zellweger that 500 Miles is in, I think. And or is it in Dumb and Dumber? You, Me and Irene.
Oh, yeah.
And 500 Miles became like a big hit in the US after that. So I think the Proclaimers could they be the biggest selling Scottish band worldwide? I don't know. We should really have researched this properly.
Yeah, maybe. They could be. I'm not saying maybe we should have researched it properly. We definitely should have researched it properly. But yeah, in terms of record sales, because I wouldn't be surprised if the record company put that single out again after You, Me and Irene, just because it was on the soundtrack. You know what I mean? All
right, Greg. Daily Record from 2 years ago. The 6 biggest selling Scottish musicians of all time. Okay? Mm-hmm. Number 1, of course. Now, there could be cheating here because technically he is on the record. So they're probably going by record sales here. Number 1 is Midure.
Midure. Is that his solo career or with Ultravox?
I think they're including Band Aid as well in that.
Really?
Because they'll include record sales. So yeah, Ultravox and thing. Number 2 is Emile Sandé.
Oh, really?
She did have a
Aberdeen
big kind of glip. Yeah, she did have a little big bit. Number 3 is the Bay City Rollers.
Wow, class.
Number 4, how have we gone this long, Greg, without mentioning them? That's shocking. That is shocking that we've gone this long without mentioning them. Wet, Wet, Wet.
Oh, yeah. Wet. Maybe because I'm not a big Wet, Wet, Wet fan.
Number 5, Lewis Capaldi. Number 6, a man who I am very jealous of because he has been somewhere I'd love to be.
Ricky Foster.
Calvin Harris.
Oh, okay.
Calvin Harris. So yeah, Wet, Wet, Wet. Forgot about Wet, Wet, Wet. But yeah, I guess Wet, 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 Simple Minds, kind of similar. Well, Wet, 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 more poppy. Yeah. Simple Minds had a bit more edge, I guess.
Yeah, Wet, 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 fucking sellouts. No balls. They have like fucking... Although I think Marty Pello, ironically, very much the rock star lifestyle.
Yes.
Perhaps more than I don't know if Jim Kerr ever smoked crack, but although I know Marty Pello's sorted his life out now, but musically it's all a bit limp-wristed, isn't it?
Limp-wristed, yeah. Rolling. Yeah, I loved them as well. They weren't Scottish though.
They're coming to Dubai in August.
Are they?
Yeah.
You know something? I would go and see them. I just for a laugh. I bet it'd be fucking brilliant.
I'm going to see them.
Are you?
Yeah,
fantastic. Oh, amazing. Oh, I'm quite jealous now. It's like, fucking hell. Wow, it's amazing. Anyway. Right, Simple Minds. So the whole concept is they go to Simple Minds. They pick up a Hungarian hitchhiker, Chilla, who there's a wonderful build up around things. I think in this that and no more scene than when Broke and Chilla are kind of chasing each other around the room. You mentioned when he's having shave and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like a minute before the kind of sexual tension kicks in. Now, how do we feel about Chilla? Like, she's this kind of mysterious character, but then is she just in it for something? Like, she's with Bunny initially, and she's always asking him for a present, the hat, the scarf.
Promise.
Yeah. You buy it for me?
How much is it?
Then you buy it. It's 2,000.
See you later.
Bunny, you could have bought it for me.
I know I could have bought it for you.
It's 2,000 is nothing for you.
All
nothing.
right.
What about this? A little present for me?
What is it with you? You always want me to buy something?
No,
What is it with you?
I don't know, just to remember you or something like that.
Absolutely clueless. He hasn't got anybody to send those to. It's unbelievable sometimes.
Show me, Brooke.
Good to find a hotel.
Very nice.
Is she just a freeloader? Was she just not interested in Bunny, but just didn't think that Broke was interested in her? But then when Broke kind of makes it clear that he is interested, she gets scared off, and then they kind of end up getting together. I don't know. What do you think about, what is her end game? What is she looking for?
Slag.
Slag?
No, like, I don't know. Yeah, because, like, she sort of tells them both that she's a music manager when she first meets them, right? Then it transpires that she's a waitress in a bar. But then they go to see Attila's band that were, not very good.
They're a real life band, by the way.
Yeah, still not very good.
They are called, so in the film they're called VHK, the real band. They're also known as Galloping Coroners. And Attila, who plays Attila, his real name is Attila, and he is the lead singer of the band.
Oh, really? Yeah. Attila the Hungarian.
Yes, exactly, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm not sure what we're supposed to think of her, whether she's, she thinks that Bunny is the path of less resistance to get closer to Broke, or maybe she read up about sort of Rangers fans and Protestants off camera and thought, oh no, I don't like that very much, and her. But she was looking for a bit of exotic Scottish love in her life. And
she obviously has a bit of a troubled life in terms of, like, she lives with her mum. Her mum is abusive because she slaps her in the face, but she's obviously a bit of a scamp. She's buggering off for a week to go and buy a hat and just vanishing and then hitchhiking back. She has her boyfriend Attila, who is quite rightly annoyed that she's buggered off for a week to get a hat and has come back with these two English blokes. And that's something that is very prevalent throughout the whole hour and 11 minutes of this film, that they keep getting mistaken for English. And they keep having to say, no, we're Scottish. We're not English, we're Scottish. We're like the English, but more manly. And I think it did put across quite well in terms of that's exactly what happens. Like, no, we're not English, we're Scottish. And having to kind of get that message across.
I like the music very much from this city.
Yeah?
Yes.
What, like?
Like the Smith and...
The Stone Roses?
Yes, the Stone Roses. And the Cherry Chainsaws.
Yeah.
And Happy Monday. Do you like this music, anyone?
Yeah. We're not English, we're Scottish.
See.
It's the same as English, except that we're just a bit more manly. All the really excellent bands come from Scotland. Like Simple Minds, that's who we're going to see.
Oh, they are horrible.
Who told you that?
But you're right, she's a bit of a pain in the arse. And even with her friend, Anne, she's a bit of a dick. And kind of is just into Bunny, but I don't know if, when she's like, you could afford it, when, buy me present, but then it's clear she likes Broke. And then, she tells Broke she loves him. And he says he loves her, and she says, stay with me. And I don't know. I don't know how long I give that relationship. Probably a couple of weeks. And then Broke has to go back to Germany and spend probably 6 months in a cell for deserting the army.
Yeah, for sure. I've been to Budapest.
Oh, that was one of my questions I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I went for my friend who you've met, Malky's stag do. And talk, this saying that you're people asking if you're English, reminded me of my flatmate at the time, who I'm not going to name because he would not thank me for making this story public. He's probably quite embarrassed about it now, but we, as you do in a stag do, we had sort of started drinking in Glasgow Airport early in the morning. We had to transfer through Prague, so we had a few pints at Prague Airport, as well as some drinks on the plane, obviously. And then as soon as we arrived, we got to the hotel, we put our bags in, and went straight to the pub. So we had been like on the tear, and we were in this bar quite late on. My old flatmate, the stag, and myself, some people had gone off in search of alternative adventures, and as you can imagine, and we got chatting to these two young Hungarian guys, like sort of students. Like very, very nice guys chatting away to us. And we asked, we've been talking for a while, and we asked them if they'd ever been to the UK or to Scotland. And one of them said, no, unfortunately I've not. And he unzipped his sort of zipper to show a t-shirt that his parents had brought him back from a recent trip to London. And my friend said, bah, that isn't Scotland. And tore the t-shirt right down the middle.
Oh, fuck.
So poor kid was, it was intensely embarrassing. I'm cringing just like reliving it. To my ex-flatmate's credit, he was immediately contrite, realised what a fool he'd been. The kid was visibly upset by what had happened and gave him some money to replace the t-shirt, and then left. And we hung on for a little bit longer with the guy, and he was okay. Malky and I spent the rest of the time apologising for our friend. But yeah. Ooh, don't like to think about that too often.
So he did a Hulk Hogan and ripped off his t-shirt, but.
Pretty much. But it was like a perfect, like in my mind's eye, it's a perfect vertical line from like neck to navel, It's,
and that's the cheap quality you'll get in London, I guess.
Yes. But I'm not really sure how we're supposed to feel about, how do you say her name? Skilla? Chilla. It's you do get the feeling that she's playing one off against the other, which perhaps doesn't make her a very nice character. She's
She's always asking Bunny for something, buy me a gift, but she never asks Broke for anything. Like, you kind of get the impression that she's with Bunny because he just got in there first, but it's Broke she really likes, but Broke isn't kind of that forward. And when he does eventually kind of try to stake his claim, she runs off because she's scared. Yeah. And is it because she's scared of that she actually has feelings for him? Yeah. And then they obviously spend that night together when he should have been watching Simple Minds that he left. And then she kind of realizes that no, this is actually it. Like, I would love to know what happens after Broke walks back or hitchhikes back to Budapest and finds out what's happening.
Yeah, she's probably, by the time he gets there, she's probably back with a tiller.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he's a fucking creepy bastard as well, isn't he? He's like, it's not all I taught her. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt a bit sorry for Bunny when she storms out the party and Broke goes after her and leaves Bunny on his own. Because it must feel pretty shit when like your mate fucks off with a bird and leaves you on your own in a pub or a club, right?
Yeah, it must.
Has that ever happened to you?
No, but I know that it's happened to you and that I've done that. So yes, it does. I can imagine it feels pretty shit. Yes, which I apologise for multiple times over the years, and I still feel guilty about it. But come on, man, she was the hottest girl in uni. Hottest girl.
The thing is, like, if you didn't remind me of it every now and again, I probably would have never even remembered it.
Yeah, but I still feel guilty about that to this day. Like, it was my last night at uni. The kind of well, no, it wasn't even my last night. It was the last night of the winter term, and then I invited you to come along to our like party night, and then I ended up pulling the hottest girl at uni, and
up the road,
and you messaging me like, hey man, and I'm like, yeah, sorry buddy, I'm away. Sorry, mate.
I'm away. I'm up the road.
I'll feel guilty about this for the next 20 years, but right now...
It'll be worth it.
Yeah, be worth it. Yeah, and it was.
the odd thing about the party is Bunny sticks the head on the host.
Yeah.
And yet he's not thrown out.
No, that struck me as strange because he does. Yeah. Obviously, he headbutts Attila, but yeah, he's still there later on. I mean, I thought what would have lost it was obviously he puts on Simple Minds, and that gets changed on to Shine On by Highs of Love, which is a fucking belter. And then, but then it reminded me of that. I've not heard that song in years.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is absolute fucking belter. And Bunny just stick the heads on Attila, but gets to stay at the party. Very strange. You'd think he would have been launched out, especially fucking Budapest. Like a lot of Hungarian guys would have been on him. And they're in like some sort of death metal band as well. So
I know.
It's not like they're mucking around.
He'd be getting. I thought he'd be getting flung over the balcony like Johnny Watson in the second series of Crime. Was it Crime or was it Guilt?
You've massively. It's the third series of Guilt. But
yeah, Guilt. Yeah.
The second series of Crime, third series of Guilt. You're right. He should have been flung over the balcony, but he doesn't, and he goes wandering around the streets after he leaves the party, and then goes back to the hotel room and watches Hogmanay, the bells come in on the TV, and then
after throwing all the tapes about.
Yeah, that's all he does really. He just throws the tapes around, and obviously Broke is very upset when he comes back in. He's sorting his tapes out. Because I'd be annoyed with that as well.
Yeah, I know for sure. I'd be more annoyed if I had to sleep next to somebody in a fucking Union Jack vest.
I mean, that is the thing. That is quite annoying when they get to Chilla's apartment or Mum's flat, and they're walking down the corridor, and he's just banging on the doors singing Billy Boys.
Yeah.
That would be an immediate, no, sorry, mate, you have to go.
Yeah, for sure. Just the worst kind of abroad behaviour, really, isn't it? Yeah.
But love triumphs towards the end. So effectively, Broke has driven 400 miles to go from Germany to Budapest to go and see Simple Minds. So, and ends up leaving the concert.
Yep.
But, just as it starts to go and see Chilla. You know what? I'd probably do the same. Which led me to ask, how far have you ever travelled for a concert?
Not far, to be quite honest.
I mean, come on, you went to Dubai to Edinburgh last year.
Oh yeah, that would be the furthest then. Yeah, that's definitely the furthest. But that was, I mean, the concert was the anchor, you know, to just having a weekend with my two best pals. But that's probably the furthest. I mean, I would go from Aberdeen down to Glasgow semi-regularly to see bands at the Barrowlands, maybe a handful of times, maybe less than a handful of times. But the thing is, I guess I was always quite lucky living in Glasgow because everybody came to Glasgow. You know, whether it was the SECC or the Barrowlands or one of the sort of smaller venues. You know, that's the good thing about living there. And you know, if it's a big international group, usually their only Scottish date will be in Glasgow. Yeah. You know, at the SECC or maybe one of the stadiums. So yeah, what about you? What's furthest you've gone?
I did the Aberdeen to Glasgow quite a few times. I think the second concert I ever went to, I think, was at the Barrowlands. I must have only been White Zombie.
White Zombie, that was it.
I must have been 14, I think, at the time.
How the fuck did you get at the Barrowlands when you were 14?
I've no idea. But I will find out the date and find out. I must have been 14, 15 at the very oldest.
Because I went to see the first band I saw in the Barrowlands was Soul Asylum, and I think I was 16, and I was fucking shitting myself from the minute I got on the train, the whole time. And I got in no bother, absolutely no bother at all. But I was always quite tall, you know what I mean? I could usually get away with 18 when I was sort of towards the end of my 15 and coming in 16 when I was 16.
I've just looked it up. It was the 11th of May, 1996. So I would have been 15.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. I didn't realise it was over 18s though or anything. I thought...
It was licensed, right? The booze.
Yeah. Yeah, but I didn't have any booze.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like the Barrowlands, like there's fucking metal detectors and all sorts.
Well, this was 1996, mate, so it was fine. 11th of May 1996, yeah. That was... set list is here. Fuck, I'm going to add that to a playlist and listen to some White Zombie later on. So yeah, I did that. I remember going down probably 2 years later, maybe the year later, to see Manic Street Preachers at the SECC.
Right.
And furthest I've gone, and it was basically for the concert. Like, we wouldn't have gone back if it hadn't been for the concert. But I did fly from Dubai to London. And went to Milton Keynes. Went to Milton Keynes. Oh, actually, no. You're right. I did fly. I flew from Aberdeen to Edinburgh to go and see Death Cab.
Yeah.
Aberdeen to Edinburgh? Dubai to Edinburgh. Basically, because Death Cab were there. But I did fly a couple of years later, Dubai to London, and then went to Milton Keynes to see Foo Fighters, and Death Cab were supporting them. Right. So that was kind of a double whammy. And then technically, not a concert, but I guess an entertainment thing. I did fly from Dubai to New York to go to SummerSlam. So it was kind of not a concert, but entertainment.
Yeah, well, you know, there was music there.
Yeah, there was music there, yeah. But yeah, that's probably the furthest I've gone. But yeah, definitely worth it for all of them.
When we were in Budapest, Queen were playing, and I think it was when they had Paul Rogers from...
I was about to say it was Freddie Mercury Not Dead by quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, a long time. I think they had Paul Rogers off Free singing then, I think. And I was in our hotel, I was chatting to a couple who had come over from England just to go and see Queen. And I saw them again, like later that night back in the bar. They'd been at the concert and they said it was phenomenal. Like they were fucking sort of starstruck even, I think, you know, from seeing Queen. Like I don't know if John Deacon had packed it in then by that point, or if he was still playing or not, but
I think he packed it in after Freddie died, didn't he?
Well, that's what I thought, but I'm not so sure. I think he might have gone... I think he packed it in when the We Will Rock You musical and all that stuff was going on. I think that was when he packed it. I could be wrong. Okay. I could be completely wrong. I'm not sure. But yeah, they were fucking... This couple were like, just... Can't believe it. They were so good. And I was like, oh, that's great. But in my mind, I was thinking, it's not really Queen, is it? Not without Freddie Mercury. I mean, you're saying that they were good, but I think probably they were shite.
I mean, it's 50% Queen, is it? Because I always say that when I say I've seen Guns N' Roses twice, I say, well, actually, I've seen Axl and Friends once, and then I've seen proper Guns N' Roses once. Because, okay, it was Guns N' Roses, but it was Axl with Buckethead and, you know, it was the Chinese Democracy Tour. So it wasn't actually Guns N' Roses, but then a few years later I got to see. It's not this month they're playing Abu Dhabi. Are you going?
No, I've got a feeling it's going to be the same show pretty much.
Yeah,
so it was only 2 years ago that they were here, and it was like 3/5 of the original lineup that I saw. of Guns N' Roses. It was Axl Rose, Duff McKagan, and Slash when I saw them, and then some other guys and not as well known. So, but yeah, like I don't know. Like, everyone's like, oh, you know, we should not love to see The Who live. And I was like, well, because The Who are my favourite band. I'm like, well, yeah, if there was some way for me to travel back in time and see The Who play, like in the early 70s or the late 1960s, then yes, I would. But do I really want to go and see two fucking 80-plus-year-old guys? You know what I mean? I'm sure it wouldn't be seeing The Who, you know what I mean?
You won't even get Zach Starkey now.
No, apparently that was all a misunderstanding, and he's back in the group apparently.
Okay. One thing I noticed about this, and I don't know what time this aired. Obviously, I know it was 1990, but I don't know what time of day it aired.
Yeah,
obviously evening, but there's no swearing in this.
There's no swearing at all,
which took me right out, because when Broke comes back on Hogmanay, you know, the next kind of 4 o'clock in the morning or something, and Bunny's smashed up and scattered his tapes everywhere. And Bunny says, you made me look like a clown at that party.
Yeah.
He would not, he'd have said, you made me look like a right cunt. Like,
Yes, it would.
he would not have said clown. So it's so, I watched this twice, and the second time I paid particular attention looking for a swear word for the Francis Begbie Award. There's nothing at all.
No swearing.
No, nothing at all. I think the worst word that is used is Buddy does call Chilla a slag at one point.
Yes,
And that's the worst term that is used. That took me out because they're squaddies from fucking Scotland.
Yeah.
And at Hogmanay, going to a Simple Minds concert, the C word, the F-bomb, everything would have been dropped around so freely, even if they're on their best behaviour around Fraulein's or Hungarian women. The language would have been very colourful.
Undoubtedly. Yeah, completely. It's a bit, well, I mean, I think it would probably have been on maybe, I don't know, 9 o'clock, maybe something like that. So.
That'd have been my thought, like 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, on Channel 4, so it strikes me as strange that it's not like a little F-bomb or something slips through, but don't know. Odd.
I don't know. One question I had to ask. So the second night that Broke and Scylla spend together, there's that moment when she seems to come down from the ceiling.
Yes.
They have that sort of Spider-Man kiss. What the fuck is she doing? Is it a bunk bed or something like that? Or
I thought it was maybe just like a little balcony kind of thing.
like a sort of mezzanine, sort of...
Yeah, you do get... I can totally see that. Living in Amsterdam, you do get a lot of places that would be like that would have like a little kind of level above that you could kind of, go down. So it didn't take me out of whack totally, but yes, I did think it was a bit strange.
They have that wee Spider-Man kiss, you know, the wee Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst in the rain.
I do. The upside down in the rain, lifts up the mask.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff.
Yeah.
Now, obviously at the end, they share the evening. Broke decides that he's going to go back. He has to go back. They get to the border and then he gets out. Now, why the fuck would he leave his car, right? Because that's a fucking cool car that he has, right? But I get, oh, you're saying maybe no? I thought it was a fucking great car. I'd love a fucking red convertible Beetle like that. Beautiful. I get the grand gesture for cinematic purposes that he's going to hitchhike or walk back to Budapest and win back the girl. But surely you would just tell Bunny to get out the car, turn the car round and drive back.
Yeah, well, yeah. But he feels guilty. I does not feel a bit guilty about abandoning his friend and all that kind of thing. So.
But Bunny can't drive, so what the fuck's he going to do? He's left here with a car that is blocking everyone. Everyone's beeping their horn. He can't drive it anywhere. Yeah. What's he going to do? He's still got to get home from there. Makes no difference if Broke just takes the car and drives back. The beautiful car. I'm still disputing. It's a fucking beautiful car, man.
Yeah, look, you know, horses for courses. It's just not my cup of tea, you know.
Okay.
That kind of engine in the back and open, you know, putting all your luggage in the front and...
Love it. So beautiful.
Yeah. The bigger question is, why is there not a fucking 1,000 memes of the close-up of Ewen Bremner's face as he's running? I mean, if ever a sequence was made for a meme, it's that.
Did you ever watch the guys from Peep Show, Mitchell and Webb? They had a show called the Mitchell and Webb Look. Did you ever watch that? They had a sketch with Sir Digby Chicken Caesar, who is a homeless man who pretends to be Sherlock Holmes. Yeah. And they have a little bit when he's like, oh, we must make haste. And they and the camera's on him and he's running. And it's all that reminded me exactly of the end shot of this. It is the most ridiculous thing one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. Him running. And it's just, could you imagine that was the end of Trainspotting? When, you know, the wonderful Ewan McGregor's walking along the bridge with a head bag over his arm, just walk. Could you imagine it was this? Like,
I can't imagine.
It's ludicrous, but I'm like, how did you think this was a good idea? The rest of the film is kind of wonderfully shot and some great scenes, but this is just, what were you thinking? Was this a last minute thing that was just added in? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, very strange.
But there should be a million memes dedicated to it.
Yeah.
So there should. Because they could be doing anything. You know what I mean? If you just turned it on, if you just turned the film on and that was the first thing you see, it's not necessarily clear that he's running.
No, yeah, you're true. Yeah, that's very true, actually. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It's like in the bones or anything.
Yeah, very strange.
What else did I have written down here? Oh, interestingly, so this was written by Frank Cotterill Boyce, who became famous for writing the London 2012 opening ceremony for Danny Boyle.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, train spotting link there, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay,
Sort of the 6 degrees of Scottish entertainment.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow, okay. Impressive.
He also wrote The Beautiful Game, which... Oh no, I thought that was the one that was on Netflix, that was taken off Netflix because of Dirty Kevin Guthrie. What else has he written that's interesting? Doctor Who, The Railway Man. That's kind of it. A Cock and Bull Story, that one with Steve. Oh, he wrote 24 Black People as well, but that Cock and Bull Story is the one with Steve Coogan and Rob, what's his name? From
Bryden.
Bryden, yeah. Quite a prolific scriber, Frank Cotterill Boyce. So, yeah, excellent. Do you have any other points about Forget About Me? Or have you forgotten them all?
No, I think that's kind of everything covered. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Nice little hour and 11 minutes long. And yeah, great to see Bremner and McCardie on screen. Yeah. And no, I really enjoyed it. But no, I think that kind of covers everything from my side.
I'm gonna float perhaps unpopular opinion here, but I'm not sure that I'm a big fan of Ewen Bremner.
Okay.
In this, obviously, he's a young actor in this. He's quite understated. You know, he's a much more restrained performance. He doesn't lose his patience. So, you know, when I think about him as Spud, really like him as Spud in Train Spotting. Mm-hmm. Don't like him quite as much in T2. Mm-hmm. When I think about his performance in The Creation Story, I don't think I'm a big fan.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I don't know. There's something that just, I don't know. Like, and the other things that I've seen him in, you know, like he's in Wonder Woman. He's got a bigger part than Matt Costello. You know, he's not very good. He's in Aliens vs Predator, which is not a good film, but he's not great in it.
He's in one episode of Taggart.
Yeah, well. He's probably all right in that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see. I think it's difficult when you have such an iconic role, and Spud is obviously an iconic role. I mean, his next thing he followed that up with The Acid House, when he was Coco Bryce.
Yeah, and that's, I don't know if I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, it's basically kind of same. Yeah. He's in Snatch as well, of course.
He's quite good in Snatch with Vinnie Jones.
It's one scene.
But he's quite good. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. There's something about, I don't know. Like, I think one of the challenges of this Forget About Me is, you know, like for me, I found it difficult to root for Broke, you know, just because I didn't think he was, obviously, like, his mate is really excited about going to see Simple Minds. And even if you're going along and you're not that excited, you're not as excited, you can still fucking get in the spirit of it a wee bit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Instead of being a fucking downer. So for that reason, like, I thought, you know, it's difficult. Yeah, I'd be interested to know what happened after the cameras stopped rolling, same as you. Just to see, does he find her? Does the military police come and arrest them? But I don't know. There's just something I can't quite put my finger on about Ewen Bremner. And maybe it was just the character of Broke that I didn't really like, and I'm just projecting onto poor old Ewan.
I've just looked him up on IMDb to see what he's got coming up, and there's a TV series he has coming up, which sounds quite good, called Cold Water. Okay. John moves his family to a rural town, befriends enigmatic neighbour Tommy hiding dark secrets. His fascination with Tommy grows as wife Fiona becomes suspicious, leading to dangerous unravelling of hidden truths and repressed anger. And the reason it kind of appeals is Ewen Bremner plays Tommy. John is played by Andrew Lincoln from The Walking Dead, and of course Egg from This Life. But the thing that really sparked my interest, and that tells you how it is, Greg, is it also stars Lorne McDonald, who played Spanner in Beats.
Oh, cool.
And that is the one thing that was like, oh, fuck, I need to watch that. Lorne McDonald is the main thing that I want to watch that for. So,
Which platform is going to be showing it?
It doesn't say it. Like it's literally in his upcoming, so I don't know. It doesn't say who it's for, and it's scheduled for later this year, maybe. But it doesn't say who it is.
I had a wee look back at Michael Winterbottom's credits list, and you'll be interested to know that I know a program that you were a fan of. He directed in a couple of episodes of was Michael Elphick Vehicle Boone.
Oh, how silver. Duck and orange. Oh, Boone. Fucking Boone. Brilliant.
I remember he directed one that was quite controversial that I've not seen, and it was controversial because it had like actual sex in it. 9 songs.
Oh, yes.
Remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that, yeah.
Never ever saw it, but it was that actor, what's his name? Kieran O'Brien. I think Kieran O'Brien, let me look him up. I think he was the lead in a sort of like a CCTV or children's BBC show when I was a kid. I can't remember what it's called, so I'm just going to keep talking while I look it up now. If I go right back, Jossie's Giants. He was in Jossie's Giants.
Oh wow. Okay.
Kieran and Children's Ward and Streetwise. I don't know if you remember Streetwise it was on CCTV and it was about cycle couriers in London.
Oh God, yeah! Wow,
really, really good. It was like the sort of program for older kids in the sort of Children's Ward slot, in the sort of Biker Grove and Grange Hill sort of slot. You know
I'm amazed you remember it because you weren't allowed to watch those kind of shows, were you?
Well, I wasn't allowed to watch Grange Hill. But my mum never knew about Streetwise. Or she should have probably stopped me watching that as well. She was okay with me watching Children's Ward.
Because she was a nurse.
Well, that's basically the reason. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, okay then. So shall we put Forget About Me through our Swally Awards?
Let's do it, Greg. What have we got first?
Now, as always, the first award is the Bobby the Barman Award for the best pub. The only pub really is the restaurant that Scylla works in, right?
The only other place really is the nightclub where Attila's band play. But yeah, I went with the bar that Chilla works at. Kind of seemed the best kind of place. Yeah. Yeah,
I wouldn't like to go to that place where Attila's band played.
No, it looked like it smelled quite a bit.
Yeah, it smelled like stale beer and body odour. Next one then, our favourite award, patron saint of the Culture Swally, James Cosmo Award for being in everything Scottish.
Brian McCardie.
Has to be, right? Has to be McCardie.
Yeah.
The Jake McQuillan Award for the Jake McQuillan Your Tease Out Award has to be when Bunny sticks the nut in Attila.
Yeah, exactly what I have, Bunny headbutting Attila.
The Hugh McGregor Award for gratuitous nudity. We only really get to see Broke's wee pigeon chest, that's kind of it. And Scylla kind of quickly pull her skirt back on in the morning.
Yep.
As we mentioned already, the Francis Begbie Award is somewhat redundant this month. No effing and jeffing. Archetypal Scottish moment.
Something that we've mentioned, I guess, constantly letting to have everyone know that you're Scottish, not English.
Exactly. That's exactly what I've written down here. Making sure foreigners know you're not English. It's so true though. So you're English? You're like, no. Through clenched teeth. No, I'm from Scotland. The thing is, sometimes here, as you might have discovered, if a taxi driver is having a bit of unwelcome conversation with you, sometimes they don't even know what's about anything about Scotland and they don't even know about it, you know?
I just always remember, and it's always from when I was younger, going to Spain or Turkey on holiday, and I always remember so you English? No, from Scotland. Scottish! Yeah. It's almost like,
Scottish! Purple tin!
Fuck! Okay, you guys are okay!
Have a can of Tennant Super.
Patio furniture is safe.
Yes, Dimitri, lock up the water cannon.
So yes, that is my archetypal Scottish moment too, yes.
Oh, I'm laughing at my own silly joke there. Okay, and then next then, the Sean Connery Awards. Who wins Forget About Me for you?
Well, I know who it's going to be for you, because you've just said you don't like Ewen Bremner. So obviously it's McCardie, because there's no one else really.
Well, that's not actually. I didn't pick McCardie.
Oh.
But I obviously love Brian McCardie. I don't think he's pulling up any trees in this, really.
No.
He's not, he's fine. But because they're both quite dislikable characters in their own different ways, for me, because it's set up a fairly prolific career, I've given it to Michael Winterbottom.
Ah, okay. Yeah. I can take that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fair enough. I gave it to both McCardie and Bremner because I felt it's a two-hander, so I couldn't pick between the two. So yeah, gave it to both of them. But okay, yeah, Michael Winterbottom, I can take that, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking out the window here. So this little boy has just cycled round to come and say hi to the neighbour's dog, which he does quite regularly, and it's a lovely dog, although he does live outside in a air-conditioned kennel, which I don't all that happy about, but he's very friendly. But I'm watching because the wee boy put his kickstand down on his bike, and his bike just fucking rolled away, and he hasn't realised. It's lying in the road. I better go and tell him after we finish, unless he notices first. Alrighty. Well, if you want to watch Forget About Me, it is on YouTube. As Nikki mentioned in the last episode, the first few minutes, maybe first minute and a half, there's no sound, probably because there's some copyright protected music that it opens with. So bear with it. The quality's not great, but it's good enough to watch. So give it a spin.
Yes. And okay, that was my choice, Greg. So why don't you tell us what we're going to be watching on the next episode of the Culture Swally?
Well, I've chosen another film for our next episode. It's not too long. It's an hour and 40 minutes, but sort of standard length. And I'm taking us back 21 years to 2004 for the movie on the next episode. I've chosen the only film of Ken Roach's sort of quadrilogy, Scottish quadrilogy that we've not done. So we've done Sweet 16, we've done My Name is Joe, and we've done The Angel's Share. But we've yet to do, until the next episode, A Fond Kiss. And it occurred to me when I was having a look at it today, I've never seen it. I don't know how, because that was right my sweet spot for independent films when that came out, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but I'm aware of it. But no, never watched it. A Fond Kiss, okay. Would you... A quadrilogy. Would... Carla's Song's a Ken Loach film as well, isn't it?
Is it set in Scotland, though?
Technically, is it? Yes and no? Don't know. Not sure.
I'm not sure if it's set in Scotland.
It's Bobby Carlyle, but I know it's... Don't know, maybe it's not. Okay. A Fond Kiss. Yeah, I'm aware of it. I've never seen it, but
I mean, it's set in Glasgow. Okay, so what's like a 5-film series?
Quintrilogy, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. We're making fools of ourselves now.
Yeah, we are.
So anyway,
Okay.
So sparks fly on the south side of Glasgow when a young Asian man and a white lady get together.
Okay, yeah, no, I've never seen it. I will look forward to that. Yeah, it's something that had cropped up in my mind recently as well, and thought about it, but yeah, never decided to pick it. But yeah, okay, great. Okay. A Fond Kiss.
We'll be treading very carefully on the next episode of the Culture Swally.
Okay, right. Well, thank you very much for listening, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can. You can email us on cultureswally@gmail.com. You can follow us on Insta at cultureswallypod. And if you'd like to leave us a little rating, review, subscribe, anything you'd like to do in terms of wherever you get your podcasts, that would be appreciated. And Greg, we have a wonderful website as well, don't we?
We do. You can join us at cultureswally.com for links to all our episodes and some blogs and articles on Scottish entertainment.
Fantastic. Right. Well, I hope you have a lovely weekend. Greg, anything exciting planned?
No, my weekend is completely open. because we're recording this on Friday. I've been on holiday this week, as we mentioned earlier on, because our mutual friend has been here. So we're recording this like quite early on a Friday. I mean, it's 20 past 5 for me, which means it's 20 past 3 for you.
Yep.
So yeah, I might contribute to the nighttime economy and go out for a beer if anybody's around.
Wonderful.
Or I might just lie on the sofa and have a beer.
Fantastic.
Watch the telly.
Oh, that
More
sounds very
likely, to be honest.
Very
so,
good.
yeah.
Well, enjoy. And yeah, until next time, I will leave you with a fond kiss.
Until next time.
She doesn't even want you.
I don't care. I want her.